Today on the net, the web analyzes the WikiLeaks revelations on the war in Afghanistan. Colombian web users comment on the revival of tensions between Colombia and Venezuela. And an American man films his walk across the United States. On Monday, the whistleblower site WikiLeaks leaked over 90,000 American Army reports on the war in Afghanistan. These revelations suggest, amongst other things, that the American Army could have been involved in war crimes. Many websites are analyzing the information, and there has been widespread reaction online. Several international daily newspapers have created pages devoted to the subject, making the leaked documents more accessible. This interactive map on The Guardian's website shows all the incidents that have taken place in the country and identifies, amongst other things, civilian deaths and military deaths. This other document offers an interactive chronology of the improvised explosive device attacks on the American troops since 2004, with a renewed outbreak from 2005. Civilians are often the victims and collateral damage of these attacks. This blogger hails the newspaper's work in decoding this multitude of information, but is sorry that it is not the same journalist that carried out the investigation work by WikiLeaks. He thinks the founder of the site, Julian Assange, is well on the way to revolutionizing and saving journalism. Analyst Jay Rosen offers another point of view on the relationship between WikiLeaks and the media. On his blog, he says that Assange developed his strategy well in advance, and he needs traditional media to help place all the spotlight on these revelations. Tensions between Colombia and Venezuela have been revived following Bogotá's accusation last week that its neighbor tolerated the presence of Colombian guerrilla leaders on its soil. Colombian web users have been expressing their concern ever since. Twitter users are condemning the attitudes of their leaders, Hugo Chavez and Álvaro Uribe. This Colombian woman, who lives on the border between the two countries, deplores the way the situation is developing. She thinks this diplomatic breakdown will have a heavy impact on trade in the region. This web user expresses a similar sentiment. He describes the two heads of state as intolerant and believes they use the homeland as an excuse to attack each other. Others have decided to take a tongue-in-cheek look at the subject. There are several animated web series currently enjoying growing success amongst web users. In this episode of the Colombian online series Internautismo, the Venezuelan and Colombian presidents are invited on a talk show called I Do Not Get On With My Neighbors and They Want to Kill Me. The online channel Parodiario.tv that created the green and red Little Tyrant characters is also placing the two leaders head-to-head. Their aim is to demonstrate that bad governing is not linked to one specific party. And over with the Venezuelans, the series Presidential Island shows more complex relationships between the leaders of the Latin American countries. In this episode, the presidents, who are shipwrecked on the island, decide to escape on a raft. Chavez organizes a football match to decide who should be allowed on. Harvey Pekar passed away on the 12th of July at the age of 70. He was one of the leading figures in American comic book storytelling. In August 2009, he began his collaboration with the online magazine Smith. It was called the Harvey Pekar's Project. The author drew this web series as he went along. Assisted by 4 other artists, Pekar had been posting short stories online for a year. Web users can still access these stories, along with the interviews and bonus tracks that complete the series. CERN is supporting the Creative Commons licenses, and to prove it, the European Organisation for Nuclear Research will now be publishing all the results of LHC particle accelerator research via a Creative Commons license, making them accessible and available for all. This is a big step forward in the sharing of scientific information. Mike's video is being circulated all over the web. This young American traveled across the United States on foot. Mike was filmed in stop motion during this 14-day journey. From New York to San Francisco, the young man traveled through many US cities on foot. He even walked backwards sometimes. This is an original concept that appears to be part of a viral campaign.